Shocking connection of Osiris device, Bark of Horus, with the Ark of the Covenant. The Temple of Seti I at Abydos is one of the most important archaeological sites of ancient Egypt. It's situated about 10 kilometers from the Nile River in the Osiris sanctuary near Osirian, which is the house of many incredible pieces of wall art that still surprise archaeologists with their richness and color. The temple is dedicated to 6 gods of ancient Egypt: Ta, Re, Horakti, Amun-Ra, Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Osiris is the Egyptian lord of the underworld and judge of the dead, brother husband to Isis, and one of the most important gods of ancient Egypt. He's often described as a god with green skin, with elongated headdress and partially mummy-wrapped legs. Walls of the temple contain a relief carving that shows an astonishing object that seems to be a device of some unknown technology. The device is known as Osiris device or Osiris Stargate, according to William Henry, an investigative mythologist and art historian. He's also the consulting producer of the global hit History Channel program Ancient Aliens. Henry made a surprising connection between the Osiris device and the Tower of Babel. He writes, in the 23rd century BC, the Sumerian king Nimrod built a ladder symbolized by an H or a tower, actually a gate, that reaches from Babylon into the stars. The jealous Israeli god got nervous about humankind making a name or renown for itself by building a gate, and if successful, the book of Genesis, nothing we can imagine would be impossible for us, they said. Biblical scholars say Nimrod was also known as Osiris, the Egyptian god of resurrection in Egypt. Both are associated with ladders or stairways to heaven, and this is key. Inside Seti's 14th century BC temple at Abydos, in the Osiris chapel, is a magnificent depiction of Osiris as a pillar or tower. In fact, the Egyptian called this Osiris pillar the Tower, or bond between heaven and earth. Sounds like Babel to me. Then the researchers looked at similar depictions on the opposite side of the Osiris sanctuary. He suggested that the shape of the ship reminded him of the shape of a wormhole in space, and that the Osiris device had been transformed into the figure of Seti. Pay particular attention to Seti, who appears to have transformed his body into the Osiris device, or is coming out of it. This is a wonderful moment of transformation and resurrection. He stated that a wormhole-shaped ship of eternity is attached to the Osiris device. Is this an ancient scanning device that projected souls to distant galaxies or to other dimensions? If we assume there's a connection with Osiris, the Sumerian king Nimrod, and the story of the Tower of Babel, could this attempt to create a stairway to heaven, quote unquote, be the motive for the biblical destruction of the tower or this technology? Once again, there are similar stories between the ancient Egyptians and the Bible. The shrine of Anubis found in King Tutankhamun's King Tut's tomb could be a physical representation of the Osiris device, which is similar in appearance to the Ark of the Covenant of the Bible. And according to Life Science, the Ark of the Covenant is a chest that held tablets engraved with the 10 Commandments. It was constructed by the Israelites while they were camping out in the Sinai desert after they fled Egypt. The Hebrew Bible does not specify when they fled Egypt, and there is a debate among scholars as to whether there ever was an exodus from Egypt. The ark vanished when the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem in 587 BC. It's said that the ark holds magical powers and even a curse. When it was stolen by the Philistines, the people were afflicted by diseases and outbreaks of tumors. That is why it was returned to the Israelites. And besides, there are stories claiming that anyone who touched the ark or looked inside it would face death. Another sacred Egyptian object resembling the Ark of the Covenant is the bark of Horus that was found in the sanctuary of the Temple of Horus at Edfu. The bark is basically a designation for the ship in which gods used to travel. Global Egyptian Museum writes, depictions in the tomb in the Valley of the Kings, forming parts of the Amduat and other funerary compositions, show the nocturnal journey of the god and his followers through the underworld in a bark. The dead king was also thought to travel through the hereafter. It's assumed that the so-called solar barks found near Old Kingdom tombs were designed to transport the king through the underworld. The best known is the boat belonging to Khufu, now restored and open to the public, where it was found next to his pyramid at Giza. In addition, there was also another type, the bark used for transport the statue of a god in Egypt. This type resembled an ordinary Nile boat, but was decorated with the aegis at the prow or both ends, and instead of a cabin, had a shrine enclosing the statue. In most cases, these boats also had to carry poles and rested on the shoulders of the priest carrying the bark or the ark. They were stored in the back of the temples of the god in question, close to or even in the Holy of Holies, where they rested on special stands. Transporting the gods in arks usually happened during processions, sometimes within the temple walls, but also outside, for example, to the west bank of Thebes, or even further. For example, Hathor traveled by ark from Dendera to Edfu to visit Horus there. The Ark of the Covenant has been missing for 2,600 years. It was supposedly seen last time in Jerusalem. There are many stories about its current place, and you can learn more on Encyclopedia Britannica. And this is on House and Wise by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.